So Quentin Tarantino is my favorite movie director. I think he makes the best movies. In fact, I'd say all of his movies are at least an 8 out of 10, even his worst. Yeah. But you lads would you rank him up as top 3 directors for yourselves? Where's the other microphone? Sorry, there. Yeah, there you go.
I'd say he's definitely top 3. He's up there anyway. He would be my favorite of all time.
It's hard to say no, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because we've all seen pretty much everything that he's made.
Yeah.
And they're all class.
As you said, I think 8 out of 10, maybe 7.5 is,
Yeah.
It's still a great score for a movie, and that's your worst.
It is,
What's your best then?
Absolutely. He's only got 9. Well, he's got 10 including Kill Bill, but he's only going to make one more.
Yeah.
But he's a quirky guy. A very, very quirky guy. Yeah. Has a famous foot fetish. Loves to be the racist guy in all of his movies. It's like he needs a racist guy and just says...
Cast himself.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. I think...
Fine, I'll do it again.
In his movies, I think him being the actor is probably the worst actor in his movies.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's the reason he takes down his movies a small bit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He's so awful. Just look at him.
So they'd all be an 8 if he wasn't in them. That's what takes him down to a 7.5.
I think in Django, one of his best movies, I think that last scene of him, I think it just... it's so bad.
Oh, where he's the Australian guy. Yeah. He's like, you're all right for a blackie.
What's he doing?
Yeah.
No need for that.
No. He just wants to get himself in his movies. You got to respect it.
Yeah, look,
to some level, but
if I was a director, I'd be the same. I'd be throwing myself. I'd be shoehorning myself into every movie possible. But
he's not a good.
No, but I don't think he can accept the fact that he's a terrible actor as well.
Yeah,
that's true.
See, he has that level of confidence, which I think I'd love to have.
Yeah,
But he's done some acting roles as well in some movies I've watched, like From Dusk Till Dawn and Desperado, which we'll talk about now in a bit. But he's been going on some tirades recently.
Yes.
Basically attacking other actors for, I don't know what reasons really, different reasons I suppose for each one. But he's, just doesn't seem to be any reason for it.
The main at the moment is, well, it was a couple of months ago now, but Paul Dano.
Paul, is that how you say it? Dano, yeah.
One of the best actors, I think, of the last, decade, I'd say?
I'd say decade.
Some of the roles he's in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so what's Paul Dano in? He's in There Will Be Blood.
Prisoners, in my top 4.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable in Prisoners. What else is he in? He's in the new Batman. The new Batman. He's the Riddler. Really good antagonist. That's his name. A few. Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah,
he doesn't even talk in the first hour. And he's such a good actor.
Yeah, and he has that freak out.
Yeah, and he screams. He's amazing. Like it's just, I don't know.
I think he mainly got criticised for There Will Be Blood because he was outshined by
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. That's why Tarantino went down.
But still, being the second best in that movie is like probably still a really good like.
Who doesn't get outshone by Daniel Day-Lewis?
Exactly,
I take that as like a badge of honor, you know.
Gangs of New York had the most star-studded cast, and still Daniel Day-Lewis was head and shoulders above.
100%.
Yeah.
Paul Dano was unbelievable in There Will Be Blood.
He was really good.
I rated him very highly.
Was that the reason? It was There Will Be Blood, do you think?
Well, that's why I heard him saying that.
I think he did mention that movie, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't put, he was just outshone by Daniel Day-Lewis. That's why
it's crazy. It's a crazy take.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous from a movie director, from one of the most famous ones in the world. Yeah. Maybe the most.
In that same rant, he went at Matthew Lillard then.
Yeah.
Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. That's the only thing I know him from. What?
Scream, the first Scream as well.
That's right.
He's actually very good in that as well.
Why go after him?
What's it to gain with him? Like, he's just a comedy actor.
Yeah.
And he said his name wrong, so it was like Matthew Lillard. Like, bro, he's just doing it on purpose. He knows.
Of course he did.
No need for that.
No.
To do Shaggy like that.
But then I have a few written down here that I was looking up online, just things I didn't know about, or like actors that were in his movies that I thought were like, would be in good relationship with him. Yeah. The first one's Bruce Willis. I was like, why don't you like Bruce Willis?
He doesn't like Bruce Willis.
No.
Bruce Willis that has dementia. That was in Sin City. Yeah,
because he improvised a lot. He likes his scripts being so
strict, rigid.
You're an actor, you do what I write, okay? You know what I mean? And he has a quote from Uma Thurman that said like, anytime I'm in a movie with Quentin Tarantino, he's the writer, I'm the actor, okay? I just do what he does.
Simple as that, okay.
But Bruce Willis had like an ego complex, I suppose, which you're allowed to improvise.
Yeah, but he'd take that so personally.
Yeah.
Tarantino's scripts are like, they're everything to him.
They're his babies,
They had a big problem in that regard.
So they obviously worked with Pulp Fiction together, then Sin City together, but that was
They were also in, oh no, they're not. I was going to say in Jackie Brown, but that was Michael Keaton, wasn't it? I'm
not too sure, was it? Yeah, okay.
Keaton,
right.
It's only the one movie of his he's in.
It's not Michael Keaton, but I know who you're on about.
So what did he say about Bruce Willis?
He just kind of distanced himself from him. He just thinks he took like control of the set, and he probably does. Like that's kind of the actor he is. He kind of likes getting in there and star power or whatever. But like crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that is mad.
Yeah.
So
Very controlling.
But like suppose that's the way he does it. That's his
That's
style.
That's his
yeah.
style. Yeah, like he definitely has something to say about absolutely everything, about how hot the fucking tea is in the canteen and stuff on set.
Another one was Steve Buscemi, which I thought was really harsh. Okay,
Steve Buscemi, what? He's been in how many? He was in,
and I think
just the one, Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Mark Brennan recently about this, and he thinks Reservoir Dogs is his best movie, and he thinks the best character is Mr. Pink, Steve Buscemi, which is a very fair shout because he's great in it. But he just he was asked before, like, why is Buscemi not in your movies after that? Because the amount of characters like Tim Roth, Michael Mann,
there's so many recycled.
They come back up again. He's just like, he had his time. That's all he said about it, and I was like, so harsh, man. So harsh.
I wonder, was it similar reasons, like he likes to go off the script or he likes to improvise or something?
Yeah, something behind the scenes that we just don't know about. But great actor again.
Steve Buscemi is what makes Reservoir Dogs. That's my favorite.
He is the best character in it. Yeah,
I think absolutely.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs is probably, in my opinion, top 3 for me. I like the older movies of Tarantino's. I just like the way they're shot and the styles.
Dialogue's very good.
Very good. I saw something as well. Better Call Saul was massively inspired by a few of Tarantino's first few movies.
Oh, right.
Was it?
Crazy, isn't it?
Can you see the similarities in it?
There's a few scenes where like they're going to the car and getting guns out, where it's like Reservoir Dogs influences and a few Pulp Fiction influences as well. But like really interesting. The writer took a lot of inspiration from Tarantino.
That's interesting.
And we both it makes sense.
Yeah. And speaking of Pulp Fiction, Sean has an old DVD of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Give a little close up to that one.
Can you see it? It's I got a charity shop in Galway, and it's from, I assume, there's a price tag on the back, and there's a euro price tag, obviously the original one, but I tried to peel it off to get the one beneath. But there's a pound sign, so how does that mean it is?
I don't know. When did Ireland stop using the punt or the pound?
Was it early 2000s?
2002?
Yeah, or 2002 is the euro. You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's in good condition though.
Yeah, that is unbelievable.
It's €2 in a charity shop.
Yeah,
and it's really cool.
Not so bad.
Films release. There's a cover on the DVD as well, so it's like
cool. That is pretty cool.
Memorabilia to have for
absolutely.
Actually, like we had planned to show that, but I actually have a Pulp Fiction fucking prop in my pocket. I don't know if I've ever shown.
Mean to bring this?
No, I actually did.
He just carries it around. He brings around this Pulp Fiction memorabilia. He prepares for moments like this, just always.
This is why he's a wise guy.
He's a wise guy.
Guess what it is?
No, I haven't a clue.
I have no clue.
If it will ever come out of your pocket, maybe. Bad motherfucker.
That is sick. Show the camera that. That is insane.
I got that like years ago.
That's cool.
It's not in great condition anymore. But
wow,
that's
so sick.
Same one as Samuel L. Jackson had in the movie, which was actually Quentin Tarantino's real wallet.
Was it actually? Yeah.
That's sick.
That's why he put it at the
Tarantino walks around with a wallet.
That's a bad motherfucker.
Unironically saying
of course he does.
And I do too.
And he looks the way he does. Yeah, and so does Shane Ross, in fairness. We actually had some Pulp Fiction memorabilia for our very first podcast. Remember that?
That's right, yeah.
What was it again?
It was a poster. The one that James
The poster.
brought.
It was a poster, yeah. But it was a really cool one.
James is really cool, the one he has.
Yeah, and we had the little, the movie set thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Action
as well, yeah. And so we have Paul Dano, is it Dano? Matthew Lillard and Bruce Willis.
George Clooney as well, but I think he just doesn't like him because he outshines him.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear the quote where he was talking about George Clooney and saying like, "Oh, we could be brothers"? You ever hear that quote before? No.
What, like,
and then George Clooney, George Clooney's like, look at the camera, like, what?
Yeah.
But they play brothers in From Dusk Till Dawn.
That's why he thinks he's like, oh, this is a perfect casting.
Exactly, and it's like you have Mr. Handsome George Clooney, and then Tarantino's like, how did this inbred look like? How are they brothers? Like they don't look anything like each other. Yeah. And Tarantino plays a creep in it. He plays himself basically. Obviously, he writes the scene in of him getting Salma Hayek to pour tequila down her leg into his mouth through her foot.
Jesus Christ!
But oh my god, that's an unbelievable scene.
What's his?
I love that.
What's his role in that movie? Bar acting? Is he like a writer, or is he just?
So he wrote that scene.
He wrote that.
He directed that scene, and he's an actor.
Okay.
Yeah, he directed the one scene where he gets basically his foot fetish, fucking his fancy tickle to whatever. I don't know how to say the fucking phrase, but.
The next one I have, and it's the last one I have, because a lot of them you can go through, but it's Spike Lee, the famous director Spike Lee.
Of course, Spike Lee.
Yeah. So basically he's not a big fan of Quentin's use of the N-word in his movies, especially by himself. Like, imagine writing yourself into a movie and saying the N-word as often as he does.
4 times, 5 times.
Which is a very fair point. Like, I think Spike Lee's a great director, right? And
all of his movies are like racially motivated as well.
And then Quentin Tarantino said like his comeback was like, you want to write a black movie like I can, or you can't write a black movie like I can, talking to Spike Lee. And
that is like, ridiculous.
That is crazy.
Oh my god. Spike Lee's movies
Yeah,
are
very contentious, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
But like Black Klansman is a great movie. I know we're going off topic here, but like Spike Lee is just
do the right thing.
do the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did the Malcolm X as well.
He did, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna say a side note: 2K16 career mode, my career mode. Spike Lee directed that. Awful. It was so awful.
NBA
2K.
Okay.
He directed it. It was just so weird.
Right.
I don't know why he did that.
Yeah.
Just a side note.
He's
That's
obviously
probably your worst work, Spike Lee.
Yeah. You're a big New York Knicks fan as well, aren't you? As well as Spike Lee.
That's why I like him. I do like him, but other than that,
yeah. So he was going at Spike Lee for not.
Yeah.
Okay,
we're just
interesting.
going back and forth because Spike Lee came out and just made a good point about saying like, calm down a bit, you know what I mean? And he just doubled down.
Yeah. Well, there you go. He's feisty.
Yeah.
I just want to go back to Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
In Reservoir Dogs, you know that opening scene where he's talking about how he doesn't tip.
Yes.
He doesn't tip waitresses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw online that's Quentin Tarantino's actual
his beliefs.
I
saw that as well.
Oh, okay.
That's his actual opinion. That's
Yeah.
why he killed Steve Buscemi to say it.
Insane.
Right.
He didn't just pick that up out of thin air. Like that's his actual.
He had a
opinion.
vendetta before that scene even started. He went straight Buscemi off.
Yeah.
Crazy,
Okay.
isn't it?
Also, when about From Dusk Till Dawn, he plays George Clooney's brother, his ugly brother that has a sexual fetish, and he keeps having to like chew him like. He has to puts a retainer in to stop himself when he sees a fit lady or a sexy woman because he starts chewing at himself and all this kind of stuff. And then, obviously he does that scene with Salma Hayek. I watched Desperado, which is another movie that Tarantino's in just as an actor the next day, just because I want to see Salma Hayek again because she just looks so unbelievable. Like, you always hear so much about Salma Hayek, but I didn't know about Salma Hayek properly until I watched them movies. I was like, this is why they all talk about Salma Hayek. This is the reason. So then I watched, obviously, Desperado the very next day just to see her again. And, that's a good movie. I think I rated them the same on Letterboxd, about 3.5, 4.
Still like, what, a 7 out of 10, really. So it's...
Yeah. But I think good movies. No, you know what? I think From Dusk Till Dawn's better than Desperado. I think I might give that more. It's similar to Sinners. It's got a similar sort of vibe to it. Have you both seen Sinners? Have you?
Sinners is great.
It's kind of like an older, less like blockbuster version of Sinners. But definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I have a question for you, lads. So there's a bit of a debate online that Tarantino is kind of a stealer of films, a culture vulture, for lack of a better word. So do you think he gets influenced, inspired, makes his own thing, or do you think he's like he imitates movies, copies them? What do you think?
I don't know. I think, like we said, like his scripts are his babies. Like, so I feel like in my head, it would be very original.
Yeah,
but I know. Do you have any examples?
There's a few here. So obviously in Kill Bill, there's so many scenes that are taken from like Bruce Lee movies.
Okay, that one's fair,
but he admits that they're straight rip-offs.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? There's also a scene. Where was it? He took a section of a movie called Hong Kong City. He just took like the last 10 minutes of the movie and made his own movie after that from that. And he admitted that again. So it's like, you know what I mean? He's not completely just ripping it off. He's just taking it as it is and being inspired by it. And
what I was going to say there was, I think he writes love letters to these different eras of Hollywood movies. And I really actually enjoy that part. Like Django was his throwback to the Westerns, the classic Westerns. And the spaghetti Westerns as well. Like it takes influence from them. You see some of the last scenes, where he's in the mansion and he shoots her one and she flies back. Like some really old school editing that was done in the fucking 60s. Then same with Kill Bill is like an ode to the kung fu craze of the late 60s with Bruce Lee and everything like that. Then, of course, you've got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is just like the love letter to Hollywood. I think that's exactly how he described it. He said it's his favorite movie of his own movies. Inglourious Basterds is obviously his World War II effort. I think it's the best World War II film ever made.
It's really good.
It's so good. It's unbelievable. Then there is obviously, of course, Reservoir Dogs is his own thing. Pulp Fiction is just like so Tarantino. And
that's the one, sorry. The Hong Kong City is the last 10 minutes of that movie he uses as the start of Reservoir Dogs, apparently. I've never seen it now, but I saw that somewhere. And then he made his own movie off. And the director of the Hong Kong City actually admitted, he did a good, with the adaptation, you can call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then some people who are like cinephiles, for lack of a better word, or whatever you call them, are like, this is, ridiculous. Leave art as it is. But like even music, think about music, every single era of music is sampled something else or takes inspiration of notes or chords. You know what I mean? It's art. It's just the way it's done.
Well, I think once you recognize the original, it is okay.
Exactly. It's not like he's just straight ripping them off. He's making his own thing out of an inspiration.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And Kill Bill itself has a lot of scenes from a different movie, and
Yeah.
even the song of Kill Bill comes from some old Asian
Mhm.
movie as well.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting, and I love that aspect of it. I loved how Django felt like a traditional Western,
It did, yeah.
but just
With
modernized
its own
and
spin, yeah.
better than any Western I've seen. I know I haven't watched many of the great ones. Colm Casey was telling us about a few. What's
Westerns,
what's the
Tombstone?
Tombstone?
That's the one.
I've actually
loves.
seen Tombstone.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Was he telling us about that one?
Yeah,
Or-
it was, yeah.
That's a good trilogy. Then there's also the Hateful Eight.
Yes, I haven't seen that one.
That's the
that's
one
the
you
one I
haven't
need to
seen.
see.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
love, like, obviously all the main cast, but Walton Goggins in as well.
Yes,
I'm a
that's right,
big
yeah.
Walton
Yeah,
Goggins
he
fan,
is
so
class,
Yeah,
I need to see that.
he recently talked about his Irish heritage, or someone
Yeah.
talked to him
Yeah,
about
I
what
saw
they
that.
say. You're some chieftain from back in the day or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. He's good in the Fallout series.
Yeah, really good. And The White Lotus as well. Have you seen that?
No, haven't
He's
seen
really
that
good in
one.
as well. He's on top form at the moment as an actor.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to see that movie.
Right, and Tarantino hasn't been talking shit about him or anything. No,
That's the thing. One appearance and no
Yeah.
words since, so maybe he'll come out in the future. But we'll see.
I'd love to hear him say something about Sam Jackson.
Oh,
See what he'd come back with.
Yeah.
But he'd have no right to say anything bad about him.
he's probably his go-to guy.
He is
Isn't
his
he?
go-to
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
He's in.
What's your favorite Sam Jackson Tarantino collab? There's so many to
Ooh.
talk. And there's so many classic moments in all of them.
It's what we've Hateful Eight, Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown,
Pulp Fiction.
Django.
I'm gonna say Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction's a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Jackie Brown. I think
really.
he's really good in Jackie Brown.
Yeah, I think he's good.
You know what I
Jackie
love
Brown,
too? The style. You know the Kangol hat he always
Yeah,
wears?
Yeah,
they're
backwards,
so
and they're all
good,
different
yeah.
colors.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so like aesthetic. It's
He
so sick.
is a pretty cool guy, and Robert De Niro's character is really
Yeah,
cool in that
Yeah,
too.
that's
I
right.
think every scene they have in that like beachfront house is so good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but it's just so good. Like
Yeah.
it's just so well written.
Who was the main character in that again? Who's the police officer guy? We were trying to talk about it earlier. Was it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
the
I don't know the
actor's
actor's
I don't-
name, but
yeah.
know who you're talking about,
But he's very famous too.
I think it is
Yeah.
Michael Keaton. Am I
Is it
tripping?
Michael Keaton?
It's not
I
Michael
don't think.
Keaton.
I don't know.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah, let us know in the
it's
comments. That's the
Yeah.
first time we've asked
Yeah.
anyone to let us know anything in the comments, I think. But
Yeah.
get commenting. Yeah. Anything else there from you, Sean, for
No,
the
I think
tirades?
The tirades, I think we've run through. Actually, but Fiona Apple, you've heard that story before.
Go for
They
it.
were chatting at an award show, and she was like she was a big cocaine user for years,
Mm.
and she said after talking to Tarantino for like an hour or two in an award show, she quit cocaine because it was just burning her ear off all
Yeah.
night long.
Well, the implication that he was doing cocaine
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So they were doing cocaine together.
And then
And
she was like, never again.
yeah, I think I did hear this story. So, oh my God, can you imagine once you get him going? Like,
Yeah.
of all
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
talking about movies. Imagine him here on this.
God.
We wouldn't get a word in
Oh,
sideways.
Yeah, he's a sign not to do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foot fetish, feet fetishes,
Yeah, well,
foot fetishes.
Yeah.
He's got a big one. He loves feet. What's your favorite feet appearance of Quentin Tarantino? Because
There's many to choose from.
I think
Oh my god.
I think the Salma Hayek pointed tequila
Yeah.
down. That's
I
brilliant.
haven't
But
seen that in the movie.
Margaret Qualley in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where she puts her feet up on the window screen.
She's
Yeah.
a hippie.
She's the
yeah.
hippie. What other feet?
Margot Robbie. Once upon a time.
Yeah.
Margot
There's
Robbie.
plenty in that movie.
Oh yeah, there's loads actually. Yeah. Inglorious Bastards. Is there much feet action?
Probably dead actors lying on the ground.
There's
sitting
probably
up there.
there's probably some feet in there. The Hateful Eight. I don't think there's as much.
Jackie Brown on the table. I think it's
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's just the Kill Bill when the
Oh,
Uma Thurman's in the car.
Yeah.
Of course,
Oh,
wiggle their toes
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a 5-minute foot scene right there.
It's so
Without
unnecessary,
any
like,
cuts.
He just does his own thing. It's,
Yeah.
He just loves feet.
Look, he's not ashamed of it.
no.
Yeah.
You can say that anyway.
Back to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All the stars that came out of that movie. Crazy.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that Asian girl is now big. I seen recently.
Really?
Do you know she was like she was the first one to run away at the last scene, you know, where they're going in at the Manson killings,
Yeah.
and she goes back to the car and runs away.
Yeah.
That girl.
What's her
No, sorry. No, it was the girl that enters the house with them. So you know you've got Austin Butler
Yeah.
and you've got two girls.
Yeah.
The more Asian looking girl.
I can't remember her face. in the movie.
She got extinguished by the fire.
Yeah.
She got extinguished. She got put on fire by the fucking flamethrower.
Yeah.
I don't know, but she's famous now.
Crazy.
She's in something. Obviously, what's her
Austin
name?
Butler, Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney,
Margaret Qualley is mentioned
Margaret
already.
Qualley, Brad Pitt, and Leonardo
Yeah,
DiCaprio,
well,
the main
they're-
characters.
Still though, it's
Yeah.
a stacked cast. Looking
Mm.
back at now in 2026, it's insane.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
It's cool the way they have a lot of like real people
Yeah.
that are in that, like
So
Roman
true.
Polanski and
Yeah,
just-
I know.
and
Yeah.
Bruce Lee and
Bruce
stuff
Lee,
like
I
that.
know.
It's
obviously Sharon Tate,
Yeah.
that
Sharon Tate,
boyfriend
yeah.
cook guy, what's Jay Spearing?
Jay Spearing.
Yeah, him.
Obviously Manson near the end.
Charles Manson himself, of course, but Tex, Austin Butler's guy,
Yeah.
Tex, he was a real guy.
Really.
Very good, very good. But it's been how many years? That's 2019. It's 7 years
Wow.
since his last film.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
7 years, because there was not. Has there been a gap as big as that
I
For a
wouldn't
director,
say
that I
so.
know of the big directors, like
of him? No, just
Of
for him.
him.
Of him.
No,
yeah.
God, no.
He went,
Definitely not.
was it 92 was Reservoir Dogs, 94, and then 97.
Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There would have been no more than
No.
4 years anyway.
because I think after what was the movie before Inglourious Bastards again? I haven't seen it either.
Inglourious Basterds was Death Proof was
Death
actually
Proof.
before
I think
that.
it was
Yeah.
a 4-year split between them movies as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Even longer, maybe. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
But 7 years is definitely the longest.
I've seen Death Proof. Have you seen Death Proof?
No.
Death Proof feels weird because it doesn't really feel like it's definitely a Tarantino movie because it's got all the Tarantino-isms in it.
Mm.
It's very violent. It's very
Gore.
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just like he wasn't trying to make a mass appealing movie at all,
Right.
and he was just trying to make a movie that he found fun.
Yeah,
So that's why it's not really mass appealing. In my opinion, it's his worst movie.
yeah,
But it's still kind of good. Like it's
Yeah.
still fun
Yeah,
to watch.
yeah. Do you think after Kill Bill, he was like, I need to make more gory movies? He just had like a hangover,
yeah.
a gore hangover.
Yeah,
and he
because
just
they do
needed
get a
more of
lot
it.
worse after
Yeah.
that, don't they? Like,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because like the first, like Kill Bill 1 and 2.
What is the goriest of his? Because Inglourious
haven't-
Bastards gets pretty gory.
Yeah.
Death Proof is
I
gory.
think you know that scene
Ah,
in Kill Bill where it's like just so much blood, like,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
glass floor in the middle.
Yeah.
That's quite.
Yeah, you know Kill Bill 2 as
Yeah.
well. Oh, that's tough. But you know when he in Django where he gets the Mandingo fighter to
yes.
gouge
yes.
out the other
Yeah.
guy's eyes.
Oh.
That's not actually on screen, but similar to the cutting off the ear in Reservoir
Yeah,
Dogs,
yeah.
you hear so much screaming
Oh,
and
the
you hear
squelch.
the
Yeah.
squelch. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Nasty.
It's
Hateful Eight as well, very gory.
Mm.
yeah.
It's kind of similar to Django though. Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
say one's
You know,
more.
I'm watching that tonight. I actually need to watch it.
Yeah.
Such a good movie, apparently. So gotta watch it.
Yeah, so we'll start talking about some of our favorite Tarantinos, maybe
Mm.
overrated Tarantino, underrated Tarantino. We'll start with our top three, anyways. What's your top three Tarantino, Sean?
In no particular order. I can't.
No,
do it.
that's all right.
I'm gonna say Pulp Fiction. I think it's an easy traditional choice. Great movie. After that, I'm gonna say Jackie Brown. Like it's my most recent watch, and I thought it was so fucking good. I
Yeah.
thought, like, again, I think Samuel L. Jackson's so good, and as like a bad guy. I think
Yeah.
he's a crazy motherfucker in it, but he's so good. And then 3, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah,
Okay.
so no order there, just they're my
Yeah.
top 3.
Okay, so Jackie Brown, Pulp Fiction, Inglourious
Yeah.
Bastards. Shane?
I think my picks are going to be a little more niche. I think Reservoir Dogs is definitely my favorite.
Oh,
yeah.
actually, Reservoir Dogs. Actually, yeah, forgot about that. See,
Are you going to put that
scratch
in?
out Inglourious Bastards. Reservoir Dogs are in. I like
Okay.
the older movies better. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs was like my kickstart into watching movies as well.
Fair.
Wow,
I
when
remember
was
watching
that?
it. It was around 20. I want to say 2019 maybe.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That was like my kickstart. That's when I actually started watching
Yeah,
it proper. And for some reason, I started with that one. I don't know why.
Okay.
But then I'd say Jackie Brown definitely.
Nice.
I love the way they finished that off.
Yeah, I
The
thought
way
it was
they
a
just
brilliant finish.
they just show the exact same scene like 5 different
Yeah,
times, but from everyone's perspective.
perspectives.
That is so
People
cool.
hate on
like,
that, you know.
how could you hate on that?
I
That
think it's
is
so well
good,
done. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you finally see how they all
Yeah.
connect then at the end.
Yeah.
And maybe the Hateful Eight then.
Yeah.
The right one. But it's obviously like you could put any of them up.
That's
there.
what I mean. It's hard to choose 3, isn't it?
Yeah. Hateful Eight was such a long watch, but I didn't get bored once.
Yeah.
It's a
Throughout
great
the whole
Yeah.
thing.
That's
How long
that's.
is it? Like 3 probably.
Oh, it's
2.5 to
2:40
3,
maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
So you both have Reservoir Dogs and you both have Jackie Brown,
Yeah.
and then you have Pulp Fiction,
Mm-hmm.
and you have got
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. Okay. I have a completely different
I was
tree.
going to say it's definitely going to be
I
different.
know.
Yeah.
I think I know 2 of your 3.
Well, funny thing is about what you said about Reservoir Dogs. That's what got you into movies.
Yeah.
Same thing about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
Yeah,
for
it's a
me.
great
Yeah,
show.
okay, yeah.
That was, I think it was 2021 when I watched that, and I like never really watched movies, never cared for them, but I always liked the look of that movie, just because it was Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, and then it came on Netflix. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
this, and that really made me fall in love with movies. I was like, fuck, I need to start watching more because
Yeah.
it was such a good investment of my time. So I started with Tarantino, and went from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to Inglourious Basterds to Django. Then started kind of going back, rewatched Pulp Fiction, watched Reservoir Dogs, then went to the more like Jackie Browns and Death
Yeah.
Proofs. And
Yeah.
Kill Bill, I think, came a little bit later as well. But my 3 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Django, and Inglourious Basterds.
You had the modern ones more.
Yeah. Well, are they all pretty close to each other, aren't they?
Oh no, there's Hateful Eight there as well.
Yes. So I can't really split them. Depends on the day. I think Inglourious Bastards is his best movie. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the movie that is like my favorite because it inspired me to watch more. And then Django, I think, is also his best movie in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But they're all different genres.
They're all kind of different. But I'm surprised that none of you have any of them 3 in yours.
Yeah. See, as I said before, like I'm more of like I like his classic movies better. I like the way they're shot. I like the kind of like grainy vibe to them. I don't know. It's just like Reservoir Dogs is such a simple movie. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like it's shot over like how many locations? It's so simple.
Yeah.
Same Jackie Brown. Like it's obviously there's more locations, but it's just so simply shot. I think, and then even the perspective, it's just so smart the filming of it. You know what I mean? And then Pulp Fiction, everybody knows Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Or you actually weren't a massive fan of Jackie Brown, were you?
And clearly not as much as he.
I feel like anytime we've mentioned the fact that we liked it, you were like it's
good,
on the other
it's
side.
not. Yeah.
I think bottom 2.
Yeah,
I think it's I think it's just above Death Proof. I'm not including From Dusk Till Dawn or Desperado because he didn't actually direct those.
Yeah, that's
so my list would go basically like Death Proof the bottom, Jackie Brown. Then my top 3 are obviously Inglourious Bastards, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Django. Then in the middle would be Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and Kill Bill.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of like what most people.
That's a fair.
I think most people I think would have Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs in their top 3.
Yeah, well, I'd say like less people have seen Jackie Brown. Definitely.
It's not as
you wouldn't.
And same as Death Proof. Like.
Yeah, because as I said, Jackie Brown was one of the last movies I've seen. Okay, so let's go to an overrated Tarantino movie. That's hard. It's so hard because actually there's none.
I think they're all, like as I said, 7.5 out of 10.
But you can easily find someone that would be like that would pick out a Tarantino movie and be like, "That's the most overrated movie ever," because of how highly rated they are. I've heard so many people say Pulp Fiction's so overrated.
Yeah,
I think it's not overrated, but it's like people like in the mainstream overhype it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like the Patrick Bateman American Psycho thing. It becomes like a whole thing in itself. But as a movie, it's kind of hard to knock it for what it is. Do you know what I mean?
It's like the whole like film bro thing. It's like,
exactly.
My favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption because it's the most basic option. That's what people think of.
Which I think is so unfair because it's such a great movie. It's like the scenes are like they're so different too. There's so many different things happening, like the Gimp scene, and then there's like. It's like
and it was so unlike anything you'd seen really at the time. Like obviously we weren't born, but
I say when that came out, that Gimp scene was really like people were like, "What is this?" Like, go to the cinema.
That police officer, the guy that was doing the raping, was he died recently.
Yes,
that actor.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Yeah, he's in The Mask.
He is in The Mask.
Yeah, he's the villain in The Mask.
He's such a distinct face.
He does. I think he looks like Cillian Murphy.
He does a little bit. It's like really sharp features, like cheekbones,
and he kind of has those like
the beady eyes,
the piercing eyes.
Yeah. So no, it's hard to do an overrated one, I suppose.
I think Jackie Brown for underrated.
Underrated, definitely.
I think everybody has to watch Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't agree with that, or I know. But
well, you have to watch The Hateful Eight.
That's true. That's very true. I think I'm gonna like it, but like I'll get back to you tonight and let you know.
Well, I think underrated Tarantino movie is any Tarantino movie you haven't seen. Bar Death Proof, really.
Yeah.
So would you both
Death Proof? Like, I haven't seen the movie either. But like,
I like Death Proof, but it's skippable. Have you watched it?
No.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What
are you putting off?
No, do watch it because it's still a Tarantino movie. If you like Tarantino movies, you will like. You will like Death Proof.
Yeah.
But if you don't really care as much, if you're not a big Tarantino fan like Sam, I am. You don't need to bother with Death Proof. But so you're saying Jackie Brown's the most underrated
Tarantino movie.
So you both put Jackie Brown over Inglourious Bastards.
See,
I think that is crazy.
I think from a personal perspective,
you both put Jackie Brown over Django Unchained.
As a personal preference.
Boys, nothing happens in the film.
That's what
it's a whole lot of nothing.
See, the story.
I love it. It's Tarantino and I love it. It's a great film, but it's a whole lot of just Tarantino and nothing.
Yeah,
if you like Tarantino, you will like it. But as I said, if you don't like Tarantino, I don't think you'll care that much for Jackie Brown either.
No, I disagree though.
Okay.
I watched my mom, and she wouldn't be like a big like cinema person. She wouldn't watch all like the big like cinephile movies that we called earlier on. And she really enjoyed Jackie Brown as a movie. Like she called her a classy broad, which that was really funny.
Classy broad.
Classy broad.
A classy broad.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a great movie.
I got bras in Atlanta.
I think it's a very accessible movie. Like if that came on TV, you could watch it. You know what I mean? Like from any part of the movie.
True.
I think the rest of the movies you could watch from start to finish, and you come into like the middle of Inglourious Basterds, you'd be like, what's going on right now? You know what I mean? But I think it is an amazing movie in itself. But in my opinion, personally, I think Jackie Brown is a really good movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do as well. What would you give it on Letterboxd? What did you give it on Letterboxd?
I didn't rate because this was before I started rating movies.
Yeah,
I watched it so.
I give it 4 stars, so it's obviously still a highly rated movie, and I still love it. But I'm comparing them purely with other Tarantino movies.
That's true.
And Tarantino's my favorite director, so I have to be like, look. But lads, Jackie Brown over Inglourious Basterds, I can't get over that.
Listen.
I know, look, difference in opinions, but two versus one. No, that's what I'm so surprised at.
Yeah.
I'd actually say the movies you named, in my opinion, are all 4.5 out of 5s on Letterboxd.
Okay,
so that's still like a 9 out.
Very. So you'd put Jackie Brown as a 5-star movie?
No, it's 4.5 as well. But I think it edges just on a personal.
So what's a 5-star movie for you from Tarantino?
Reservoir Dogs.
I think that's
the only one.
No, Pulp Fiction as well. I think.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
You've rated all of Tarantino movies very low, in my opinion. I think Reservoir Dogs, did that even get a 5-star?
No, because I rated them all after like having watched them for like a year, and it was like I need to watch it and then rate it straight away. So
you need like that straight after.
The sobering up stage. I redacted all those ratings because they were just they just weren't.
Because I did. This isn't the first time I've come at you for that. I came at you in the one where we made Sean rate the movies because you had like 4 stars, 3.5 for Pulp Fiction, 3.5 for another big one, 4 stars for Inglourious Basterds, and 4 stars for Django. And I was like, what? That's what I gave Happy Gilmore too.
That's crazy.
No, I changed my Happy Gilmore.
But that just proves like opinions.
Yeah, I know. I had to go back and like put my Happy Gilmore 2 rating down. I think it's 3 stars, which a lot of people will still say is too high for Happy
Gilmore. You said 4.5.
No, 4.
Oh, sorry.
It was 4.
Very high.
That was one of my higher ones. I was feeling generous. I saw Bad Bunny and I was like, the lid was new.
I know. I think with the likes of Jackie Brown, like compared to Inglourious Basterds, there's so much going on. Jackie Brown's just so simple. And there's just something. There's beauty in that. Like,
and I think like usually I like a movie with like dialogue. I think it was just a really easy watch.
Yeah.
And at the time I watched it, like when I was like, you know what, that really hit the spot. I really needed that movie right there. You know?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So it just had a long lasting effect on me.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So you're not going to be happy with this, but my least favorite Tarantino movie, I'd say, is Kill Bill.
Okay.
Not that I didn't like it, but it was definitely my least favorite.
I think that's a fair shout because none of us had that movie in our top 3.
Yeah.
So I think it does kind of, lose itself.
But I know you love it.
I love it. Yeah. I still give it 5 stars.
Yeah. And did you like it as well?
I did like it, to be fair, but I do think it is not overrated. But I do think it's
You can say that's the overrated Tarantino movie.
It's not overrated though. It's still a great movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's probably fairly rated.
It is. Yeah. It's fairly.
I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it the same way I enjoyed the rest of them.
My friend Ryan Kidd, that's his favorite movie. I don't. Well, it's definitely his favorite Tarantino movie. I'm not sure. It might be one of his favorites. Yeah. It's probably one of his favorites of all time. But he's also watched The Dark Knight 75 times. So
wow.
Yeah. Literally, he's on his 76. I think he'll be getting it tonight.
He's having a tally on his
he does. He crosses it off like your man the cast. But Kill Bill. So you would put Kill Bill as the worst Tarantino movie you've seen? Putting them together.
Like worst is a hard thing to say.
It's harsh. At least favorite.
Now that I'm thinking, I think I have like 5 or 6 5-stars for Tarantino movies. That's how much I rate them. So Kill Bill, you gave it like 3.5 as well. Yeah.
3.5, and then I didn't rate the second one because
similar thing, kind of. The first one's better than the second one.
100%. I didn't like the second one at all.
Oh yeah, but yet again, I'd say how you put Jackie Brown over Kill Bill. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like Kill Bill, there's so much, and Lucy Liu's character is called Oren in it, so I love that shit. Oren Ishii. So much happens in it, but yeah, I suppose each their own.
I think next time I think we should do Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah,
I think that's the next director I want to get.
That's a good one. I need to watch a few more of his movies.
I do watch it too, but I think everything I've seen by him, I'm just blown away by.
Let us know in the comments what director you'd like us to do next, because we will probably do a lot of them, and just which one to do first, we don't really know ourselves.
Just get through like Scorsese and
all the big hitters. Christopher Nolan, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I think he needs to be done soon enough.
They'd be probably the next 2
Nolan probably be one of the better ones.
Everyone's seen Nolan.
Everyone's seen Nolan. And then also let us know your top 3 Tarantino movies in the comments, and if you agreed with any of our underrated or overrated.
And also just grill myself and Shane in the comments, because I think we grill after that.
Yeah. Okay, tell me this in the comments. Is Jackie Brown better than Glorious Bastards? And if you haven't watched it, go and have a look at
Any fans, let us know too of Jackie Brown, because it is.
Yeah, Jackie Brown fans, let us know. Right, very good. Anything you want to add, lads?
Everyone get yourself a bad motherfucker wallet.
Nice one.